Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome again, my dear students. Today, we shall complete our discussion, which we started in previous lecture, regarding two principles, main principles for analytical, and persuasive writing. Today, we shall discuss certain points. It's important for providing analytical and persuasive writing. Today, we shall discuss the importance for preparing numerals, not words, numerals, not words, to denote amount, and the importance of avoiding word numeral doublets to minimize readability. Spell out numbers from 1 to 10 only. For example, or number 11, number 11, and above. You had to use numerals. They are more economical. Compare just how many characters you save by writing, for example, 73, 91, 82, and opposite to 73 by writing H in words. For the better reader, even milliseconds added up. But such numerals, they, was, rule have 4 exceptions. The first exception, if a passage contains some numbers below 11, and some above 11, and the things being counted all belong to the same category or type, use numerals consistently. For example, although when we want to write, although we want to write the following phrase, although we ordered 52 computers, 52 whatever were the item, terminals, we received only 2, but we received our 52 terminals over 3 months period. That is the first exception. Then the first exception built around or regarding to if the passage contain some numbers below 11 and some above 11, and the things being counted as all belong to the same category or type. The second exception for dollar amount, okay, in millions and billions. In such a case, we prefer to use combination between numerals plus words for round numbers. For example, when we want to write $3 million and numerals for other numbers, the billion, 50, 540, 48, 7,070, $7.88. In such a case, we prefer to use a combination of numerals plus words. The third exception for percentage, you have to use numerals with percent sign. For example, when we want to write 9%, 57%, okay, you may use numerals with percent sign. Spell out a number that being a sentence. For example, when we want to write 253 cases were disposed of in such court last year, you might just um, research a sentence, because a sentence like that one, an additional point, unless you are preparing mathematical figures and column on double zero after a round number. As for a word numeral doublets, 100,000 and no slash $100. Okay, when to write $100,000, few low professionals even know why they engage in the ancient habit. In truth, word numeral doublets arose centuries ago as a safeguard against fraudulently altered documents. That's why you write out checks in both word and numbers. The numbers by themselves would be too easy to alter. Additionally, the practice is said to have proliferated in the days of carbon copies. When you had 5 or 6 carbons, typewriters imprisoned for digits often were not legible on the last couple of copies. Hence, the doubling helped to ensure that all the carbons were legible. But these rationales don't extend very far. There is no good reason why modern prelates or prefers, judicial opinions, statutes, or contracts should contain doublets, yet many of them do. The result is quite unapplied. For example, if a thought transition closes on or before December uh, 31 of year of 1000 or 2000, the purchase price will be reduced by $100,000. And on the second uh, inversion of the closing date, the city will receive vehicles and equipment listed and exempt during the 2-year period after closing date. Bitmaps will make it's such example, okay, will make its vehicles and equipment available to the city for routine emergency maintenance at the rate of 50 and no $100 per hour. Are the 2-year period and the $50 rate really more suspect, suspect. Two, fraudulent alteration than the sum of 100,000 quite apart from the recommendation in such section be exceed, exceed careful about numbers in drafted document. Your eye in such a case, of course, will be immediately drawn to the numerals. So the recommendation will help you in such a case. But whatever convention you follow, you will find that it's important to double check, even though you shouldn't double up your numbers. Often you will find passages in which the important numbers were written out once, while the unimportant ones get doubled. For example, we don't prefer to write such paragraph as a follows. Whereas the pro has requested the lender to make a term loan to the pro and the aggregate principal amount of 4 million and no $100 to make available to pro and revolving line of credit of loans and letters of credit in an amount not to exceed 6 million and no $100 and to make available for pro a capital expenditure line of credit of loan in amount not to exceed 1 million and no $100, which uh, extensions of credit pro will use the pro's working capital needs and general business purpose. But we had to summarize such paragraph as the following and rewrite such paragraph as the following. Kroll has requested the lender to extend 3 types of credit of working capital and general business purposes. 1. A term loan of $4 million. 2. A revolving line of credit for loans and letters of credit of up to $6 million. 3. A capital expenditure line of credit for a loan of up to $1 million. Another example, we don't prefer to write the following paragraph as a follows. License agrees to pay the license $200,000 within 7 days after the execution of such agreement. Instead, we could write the following the paragraph as following. The license must pay celebration to 20,000 million $20,000 within 7 days after such agreement is signed. The third example, if you want to write that the parties have agreed that for the purpose of such agreement, the current fair market value of the property is $389,667 and $100. We can sign it. You can write it as following: for the purpose of such agreement, the current fair market value of the property is 3,089 6,067. من الأمور اللي إحنا بنشوفها يا أولاد حتى في الكتابات باللغة العربية، لما نيجي نكتب الأرقام حتى في اللغة العربية يقول لك بيفقط الرقم